So in this video, we're going to take a look at number 5. And again, number 5 is coming from in the reading. You're looking at the very last link to CK12. There is an article that walks you through how to do adding, subtracting, and multiplication with vectors. And there are some example problems that have solutions that are often helpful. So the first thing is we have to understand in problem 5 that we're doing a cross product. So the fact that it is C of A times B, but it's with that X, that is going to be a cross product. Now, the cross product of two vectors gets into a complex matrix unless you are crossing an I vector with a J vector. And so if you look at this homework problem, I am crossing a I vector by a J vector. So I have a 4mi plus 3mj, and then I have a 6ni. So I'm looking at those components of my vector. Now, when I cross these vectors and they have the same components, or they have I just crossed with j, then that creates a different thing. So if I'm crossing I and I'm crossing it with I, that's going to be 0. If I have I and I'm crossing it with j, then that's going to be the magnitude. So you're going to find the magnitude of the vector. In this one, you'll notice that I'm crossing a vector with components of I and j with components that are just based on I. Because of this, it is going to be 0, because I cannot take an I and cross it with an I and get anything other than 0. So even though that j component is hanging out, it doesn't matter, because in the multiplication process here, I'm getting a 0. And so that is what you're looking at in 5, is anything crossed with itself, because it is literally the same thing. That is why it's going to give you a 0.